Hi everyone, this is Lady T with Lady T Speaks, bringing you the latest in hip hop, R&B, and entertainment news. By now, we have all heard of the untimely death of African American director John Singleton, who died yesterday as a result of having a massive stroke. John was in a medically induced coma and never did was able to come out of it, and his family pronounced him dead on yesterday. What a phenomenal career John Singleton has had. And I had to come on my channel and just pay tribute to John and all of his many accolades and all that he has done for the African American community to showcase us in mainstream Hollywood so that Hollywood could see the diversity of African American people, our lifestyle, and our culture. And I want to share with you what biography had concerning John. John Singleton was born John Daniel Singleton on January the 6th, 1968, in Los Angeles, California. Singleton grew up in South Central Los Angeles, and his work as a film director, producer, and screenwriter often depict these turbulent, often violent roots. He studied screenwriting at the University of Southern California School of Cinematic Arts, winning 3 writing awards from the university, which led to a contract with Creative Arts Agency during his sophomore year. In 1991, Columbia Pictures bought his script for Boyz N The Hood, which was budgeted at $7 million. The film portrayed life and crime-ridden South Central LA and was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Director in 1991, making Singleton the first African American and the youngest person ever nominated for the award. The film also garnered a nomination for Best Original Screenplay. Singleton followed the win with Poetic Justice in 1993 and Higher Learning in 1995. Both films examined modern race relations, and while they enjoyed success at the box office, they were not as highly praised by critics as his debut effort. Subsequent works included 1997's historical drama Rosewood, 2000 Shaft remake starring Samuel L. Jackson, and in 2001 Baby Boy. In 2005, he produced the critically acclaimed indie film Hustle and Flow and directed the box office hit Four Brothers. Singleton was married to Ghanaian princess and actress Akusa Busai from 1996 to 1997, and they have a daughter together. Um, I wanted to share with you my commentary about John Singleton's movies and all of the actors that were blessed by him seeing their abilities and showcasing them in his films. Now, starting with Boys in the Hood, Boys in the Hood was one of the first, if not the first, movie to showcase what it was like living in the hood. And even though it was in South Los Angeles, South Central, um, I'm from Philadelphia, and each of those characters resonated with me growing up in the hood. So I knew someone like that in my neighborhood and all of the actors in there, Angela Bassett, Lawrence Fishburne, Cuba Gooding Jr., and Ice Cube. It was Ice Cube's first role as an actor. And it was very controversial because a lot of people felt like actors should get acting jobs and not rappers. And Ice Cube was from the famous group NWA. And John Singleton, just to show his visionary and to show his pioneer abilities, he chose Ice Cube to play that leading role. And I think it would have never been the same without Ice Cube playing that role. and the characters that he put, the actors that he put in those different characters. And Regina King was in the movie. She played a really good role, and it just showed the diversity of African Americans, our range, our depth, our culture, and as young people, it was really a good movie. And then he went on to do Baby Boy. Baby Boy is a iconic movie, just like Boys in the Hood, and Tyrese Gibson and Taraji P. Henson were the stars. Ving Rhames was in there, and it just once again John Singleton was able to capture the essence of African American life and to showcase it on the big screen, which was just phenomenal. Um, Rosewood was another one of the movies that I don't think it got the accolades it should have gotten, but it was a historical piece because it was a true movie and it was based on African Americans that lived in Florida in a community called Rosewood, and it was an all African American community, and it was wealthy. And as a result, um, it got burned up, and a lot of them, those people were murdered because a white woman said that a black man raped her. And the descendants from Rosewood did get compensated for all of what happened to their ancestors as far as their families being murdered, children, women, and men. The whole town was just burnt to the ground. Really good movie. If you've never seen it, you should check it out. And Higher Learning, Four Brothers. All of these movies were just phenomenal and very iconic. And Four Brothers, they talked about four different boys growing up in the same household that were orphaned. And there was a white woman who raised all four. And Tyrese was the only, well, Tyrese and Andre 3000 were two African Americans. And then there was Mark Wahlberg, and they were all brothers. And she was murdered, and they all went to get revenge on her behalf. Really good story, really showcased brotherhood. John Singleton had more than a director's eye. Um, it was as if he could look into the actor and draw the very best out of their character and out of them. And you see it in each character in every movie that he created, that he directed. You could see that the range and the depth of the character. And he's just was such a phenomenal director. Now, I never did see Snowfall, but I hear that it was really good. A lot of people loved the show, and they said that John Singleton was some of his best work. Um, but he finally got his star on the Walk of Fame. John Singleton had four children, and again, I show the pictures in so you can take a look at the different slides to see all of the actors. Method Man was in Shaft. Shaft, the remake of Shaft with Samuel L. Jackson. Richard Roundtree was in there. Um, Method Man and a lot of different people that you wouldn't ordinarily see. Some newcomers were in the movie, but again, it was a really good movie, and he just worked with the best. John Singleton worked with the best actors, and he worked with some of them a few times. Like Ice Cube was in Higher Learning, and Ice Cube was in Boys the Men, and he worked with Omar Epps, which was the main character in Higher Learning. Just an array of movies that John brought to the forefront, and he broke the glass ceiling on how diverse we were and how our people were just so multifaceted. And he's going to be missed. He's going to be missed. He's one of the greatest that has ever directed it in anybody. All of the different actors that he worked with: Janet Jackson, Tyrese, Regina Hall, Regina King, Nia Long, Cuba Gooding. Everybody is coming out and they're, speaking about them on the social media platforms and talking about how they highly respected him, how he was a quiet spoken man, but he was able to connect with each person that he worked with, and they just loved him so much. You're going to be missed, John. I wanted to just come on to a commentary. Thank you for giving African Americans a showcase, a platform where others can look at us and see our diversity, see how resilient we are as a people, see how strong, how we've overcome so many obstacles. And as you did yourself, you were able to capture that, to put it on film, to be creative, to show all our range and all our depths. And I'm just so glad that I lived in a time where your movies were prevalent, and we got to see a side of ourselves that we would not have ordinarily got a chance to see because you decided to direct films that talked about us. And the other thing too I wanted to point out about John Singleton is that not only did he work with African Americans and do stories about African Americans, but he was able to work with anyone. He worked with a lot of Caucasian actors like John Voight, who's been around forever. He was able to, again, showcase the character using John Voight and showing the range and depth of the character back in Rosewood, the movie Rosewood. His character was um, very vital for the story. And he was just a phenomenal director, and I don't know if anybody ever will be like John Singleton. Yes, there are other good directors, but this brother really captured what it was to live in the hood and to come up like a phoenix out of the hood and to be successful. So rest in power, John. Rest in peace. Thank you for all that you did for our community to showcase us and to let the world see how awesome we are as a people. Um, Again, thanks again. Rest in power. Praying for your family. Um, this is Lady T, but Lady T Speaks, bringing you the latest in hip hop, R&B, and entertainment news. As I often say, make your day great. Live your life on purpose. Take care. Talk to you all soon.